Hello and welcome back to another video. I got some new toy parts for the KFRS. Kpower has some new stuff for me to put on, like this new mid pipe. This is a pipe that goes directly after the header before you get to the catback. It now has a flex pipe in it. The old style was just a straight piece out of flex. They added this flex in order to help reduces the chances of stuff like this. If you don't know, these cars vibrate and shake a lot, and that stuff kind of eventually will break other components like the exhaust. So yeah, this is more of a kind of extreme case. It's not common by any means, but I have had to re-weld lots of my exhaust, different pieces of it, a bunch of times. So hopefully the flex pipes helps with that. Definitely looks a lot nicer. It is a direct replacement for your old one if you already have one of these cars. If you don't and you plan on doing a swap, make sure you get this one and not the old style. They also sent out a new throttle body adapter. The old one's made out of aluminum. This one I guess is 3D printed. And if you don't know, after a lot of track reviews, same thing. It's called vibrates a lot and likes to break things. It breaks the bolts that hold the throttle body to your adapter. Those break off sometimes. I've had mine happen to me twice. You know, it hasn't happened to me in a while. This is supposed to help that as well. See, I've replaced these bolts twice already. It just vibrates and vibrates and it snaps off here. Like, this is one of those things that also usually only happens to track cars. If you're street driving these cars, you probably won't have a lot of these same issues. But if you're pushing it hard, yeah, I'd recommend getting the new throttle body adapter. Even though this swap's been out for like 2 years now or something like that, year and a half, I don't know, I lose track of time. They're still improving it, so they're still doing research on and trying to fix the issues it does have. So it's pretty cool. And it's not leaving it how it is. They're trying to improve it as much as possible. Yeah, and they've always been pretty good to me. So let's put these guys on. Should be pretty straightforward. After you get the old one off, take the O2 sensor and go ahead and put it on the new one before you put it in the car. It's a lot easier to do that when it's out. Also transfer over your hanger. I think these guys are 14 mils that go to the header. The exhaust side, catback side, I think I have 17s, but that might be different for you. It's whatever you put in. So let's put this guy in now. Okay, I was wrong about the O2 sensor. I'm actually have to go through the top because my plug is too fat to go up through the bottom. So the sensor side has to go through the hole next to the shifter. I do have a different plate, so it might be different for the actual Kpower plate. I did not drill my hole big enough. Okay, now you can hook up your O2 sensor. It is a 7/8. Also utilizing the hanger, let it hang out. Got my bolts already ready, so now I just have to mount these two guys together. Once you got the front end bolted in, now you got to do the exhaust side. You don't have to take it off like I did. I only took it off to re-weld some stuff. So let's put the cat back on. Okay, I got everything connected down here. Pretty straightforward. Now I just gotta plug in the O2 sensor up above. I did have to take all of this apart to put my grommet back in and to plug in the O2 sensor, which is down in there, you can't see it. I also recommend zip tying the O2 sensor up and out of the way. That way, if this was to loosen, it doesn't get wrapped around your drive shaft or bang against your exhaust. Nice and taut. Now all that's left is to put this shit back together. Yeah, I got all this put back together. Honestly, I think this was the hardest part of all of it, getting all this shit back in. But you did a good job. Now let's focus on the throttle body. This guy needs to come off. And of course, in order to get to this guy, I gotta take my intake off, so this guy can come off. These 4 bolts have to come off. That central. That way I can get to the big guys. And of course, in order to get this guy off, the intake coupling has to come off, then the throttle body has to come off. So it should be 4 10 mils, a plug, and that should come off. Okay, throttle body is off. Next you gotta take off these 4 6 mil hex bolts. Okay, got my old throttle body adapter off. Now we can put the new one on. The side of the little O-ring that goes on the throttle body side. The flat side goes on the intake manifold side. And we'll get this little gasket, whichever way it goes. Gotta figure it out. Okay, to mount this, use the supplied hardware. When I'm in, don't go too tight because this is plastic. You can crack it, so it's kind of just snug them up. And to figure out what the orientation is, you see how this kind of goes in? That goes on the driver's side next to the central, because that's where this central rides. That makes any sense. So yeah, this indentation, driver's side. And I also recommend lubing up this O-ring, that gasket, before putting this on. Before you put your bolts in, make sure you have your Nord washers on. And it's not a bad idea to add some blue Loctite. I also want to go too tight on these 4 10 mils. Just kind of snug them up. Don't want to crack the plastic. And next we put our plugs back on. Put this guy back on. And that should be it. And that's all back together. Not too bad. Pretty easy. All that's left to do is get the car off jack stands and kind of give her a test. Make sure everything's still running right. I don't have any leaks here. Make sure I don't have any leaks in the exhaust.
Eventually.
Okay, I did my test drive. I don't know, the car looks a little different now. Ignore that. Good news, no exhaust leaks. Pipes are good, all that stuff's good. Bad news is the O2 sensor, the wideband, is bad. So I guess when this was dangling, it was banging on the drive shaft or banging around and damaged it. You can kind of see what's dented up. So this guy no longer works. So I had to order a new one. See, I did order one from Haltech. Kind of a little tip: if you have to order new wideband, don't order it from Haltech, even though I like them, because they just buy this Bosch one and throw it in a Haltech bag and charge you about twice as much for it. So yeah, look at this number. And I knew the wideband wasn't working. One, it wasn't reading on the dash, and two, I was still throwing fireballs out the exhaust, like huge flames. Which is cool, looks awesome, sounds awesome, but yeah. So I replaced the central and now everything's golden. Tip top shit. But unfortunately the central didn't come in time and I ended up having to do a track day without O2 central again. So I went to NCM. So I did get to test out the mid-pipe and the throttle body adapter, and they did great. No problems, no more vibrator issues at that event. So car was pretty solid. But that is it for this video. If you have a FRS K24 like mine already, I will hit up Kpower and see if you can get some of these new ports. They also have a updated shift linkage, the little link that goes between the shifter and your transmission. They have an upgraded one of those. I don't have one yet. I don't think mine needs it, but yours might. And they're also working on a new oil pan and subframe brace, so you can use the factory K24 oil pump with the vibration shaft thingies, so the car won't vibrate as bad. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. And yeah, like I said, this is it. And next video, I'm going to NCM. Shoot some eyeballs. But I'll catch you next time. Peace.